So we now jump to the mouse, and mouse is like this one. I believe some of you have seen the mouse, or most of you have. And the mouse is just for pointing. It's a pointing device. It does a number of things, points, and also allows you to click. So when you click, you are giving some commands to the program that is running. So purely it has two buttons. This one is normally called the left mouse button. This is the most commonly used, and this is the right mouse button, and this is the scrolling button. This is just the handle. You just hold this one for holding. So we have seen that two buttons can be used to control the position of the cursor. As you are seeing me do this now, I'm controlling cursor with the I'm controlling with the mouse. So clearly that is what the cursor does. Sometimes I might click somewhere and give a command, etc. So that is purely a mouse. What does the print screen do? It allows you to capture the screenshot. It's just like you capture a screenshot of your phone. It allows you to capture the screen, the entire screen, or the entire video of the program that is running, and save it as an image. So that is the work of a print screen. So there are some advantages of a mouse. It is easy to use. So it actually makes your moving of the cursor very easy. It is very cheap, and it moves the cursor faster. There is also something called the pad that you touch on your laptop. Is called I think touchpad, something like that. It works the same way as a mouse, but at least it is a bit slower when you compare it with the way the mouse works. So there are other input devices like joystick. Joystick is very common, and those people who play games might have come across a button that is similar to joystick. So I was saying that those people who love games, they might have come across this button. I think joystick is really mostly used in playing games. For those who play FIFA and other kind of games, you can move it left, right, whichever direction that you prefer. It can move. When as you move it, the player will move in the direction that you have selected. So this is more of playing. It's a pointing device that is used to move a cursor or other functions depending on the program that you are running. It has a spherical ball at both ends. Therefore, when you move one end, it moves the other end, and therefore allows you to move in all directions. So joystick is very common, particularly with computer games, and again in doing computer-aided designing. This one was an old version. It is not common nowadays, or very common nowadays, called light pen. It's a pointing device that was used to select displayed menu items, draw pictures on the computer screen. This is not very common as I'm saying now. It was used in those days where we had type of screens that were almost touch, but not touch. So they were light sensitive. The way we have touch sensitive screens now, those who are light sensitive, and therefore you'd have a light pen. When you point, just the way we touch the screen nowadays, you would touch it with the pen, and therefore it would receive the instruction the same way we do with the touch now. So it is not very common. Actually, have not come across one nowadays. So I think it is just appropriate that you know that it worked on the same or similar principles of a photocell and an optical system like we do with the touch screens today. So the other one is trackball. Again, this is an old input device that is not common. For me, I have not seen even one. For all the years that I have used computers, it was used mostly with laptops and notebooks. Instead of a mouse, you would now roll. There is a ball used called trackball. Instead of moving the entire mouse the way we normally move the mouse, right, left, and center, or up and down, they used to rotate this one. You rotate it left, you rotate it right, it would still move the mouse or the cursor. So again, it is not very common, but moves the pointer or the cursor depending on the way you are moving your trackball. Again, it's not very common. The other input device that you might have come across is a scanner. Scanner, you put your paper here, and you cross the read, and then you give it the instruction here to scan. When it scans, there is a cable that connects to your laptop. So this cable now, that digital image that has been captured of it's just like a photocopy. So it captures your image and saves it on the computer, and therefore you're able to see your image that was on paper on your computer. So it is an input device. And there are many variants or versions of a scanner. It may not be this one. Even the photocopiers of today do scanning and etc. If nowadays people are scanning with their phones, the idea is the same, that you are able to create a digital format of your physical image that can be processed or can be saved in a computer. Then I mentioned about the digital or digitizer or graphic tablet. At least there is some error in my notes. Where it starts well, it says that it is an input device which converts analog information into a digital form. But the rest of the story is wrong. So, but this is the idea. This is how my digitizer looks like. Or there are, of course, many forms, but this is one of the examples of a digitizer, also called the graphic tablet. I write on it just as though I'm writing on a book, like I'm doing now, saying this is an example. So you don't say that you have never seen a digitizer because I'm using it one. You can always Google it and see how it looks like physically. And the idea is the same. It allows you to handwrite or to draw. I've put some better description of what a graphic tablet is here. We are saying it's a computer input device that allows one to hard draw images and graphics. It is similar to the way you can draw images with a pencil and a paper. These tablets may be used to capture data or hard write signatures. It can also be used to trace an image from a piece of paper which is taped or otherwise secured to the service. Capturing this data either by tracing or entering the data of linear blah 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 is called digitizing. So that kind of input that I am doing now with my digitizer is called digitizing, and that's why it's called a digitizer or a graphic tablet. The other kind of input that we discuss is a microphone. A microphone allows you to talk, and it captures your audio and inputs it into a computer that now can be manipulated or be saved as an audio record of your input. So remember that your audio input was analog sound, and therefore it is saved as a digital format by using a microphone. A microphone is common. It may not look like this one alone. Even your earpieces or your earphones, most of them have a microphone. So headphones, etc. Even the Bluetooth earphones still have the same capability. They are able to convert your audio input to make it the digital input that can be transmitted, just like I am doing now. Why you are hearing me now is because I am using a microphone that is installed in my computer to transmit my audio sound. The other input is magnetic ink reader. This is generally used in banks and most of the times used to scan or to read the bank code numbers or check numbers that are specifically printed with a special ink that has a magnetic material that can now be read by this reader. So I believe you might have gone to a bank, you have a check, and they normally put a check here, comes out from there, and it will have been read. The bank, the check number and the bank number are going to have read. Therefore, it is going to be recognized as such. You can still call this one as magnetic ink character recognition. In the old days, they used to be cards, but this character recognition, I think that one is more appropriate. So there is another one that is called optical character reader, and this one is an input device also that reads printed text, such that I put my text here, and the computer is able now to recognize the text that is in my paper using optical means. It recognizes it character by character and converts them in a machine readable code that can be stored in memory. So that is about optical character reader. So there are plenty of them. The barcode reader is also very common in supermarkets. You have seen them. We have seen barcodes. They are called barcodes. And when this barcode reader is shines some light on this one, it is able to detect the pattern, and each pattern is given some barcodes or some numbers associated with a given probably a good or books, etc. So that is a barcode reader. It's also an input device. Optical mark reader. This is what when you are in high school, in primary school, you used to write exams using there's a certain KCP script you are given, and you are told to either put a cross. In the old days, they used to shade. So the idea is simply the same, that the paper will be scanned, and the where you have placed a mark will be detected, and therefore the reader will be able to detect whether you had marked an a B, a C, or a D, and therefore that is one form of input device.